We've got Mahesh Babu joining in on the show right now, the CEO, to talk about where they see their business headed. Mahesh, hi, good to have you on the show. Help us understand what's the landscape looking like, what's your current order book in the pipeline?
Thank you for having me on the show. I think electric mobility is at the very early stage of adoption, and we are with our innovative products have an order book close to 2,000 buses so far, and these buses will be deployed in next 12 months. You know, we were the first one to launch an electric double decker in India, which is one of the innovative products. The bus segment seems to be picking up well. You know that almost the bus electric segment doubled last year, and it is expected to reach about 5 to 6,000 buses this year. And a lot of initiative by government of India and also the state governments in terms of electrification of public transport has been the key focus. And now the PM E-Drive scheme, which has come, also supports electric mobility of adapting in public transport like electric buses. As you know, we have launched light commercial vehicles as well this year, and so far, without even a subsidy in the segment, we have been doing so far well. Our customers are well appreciated. The product is doing well, and this has put us in a very clear platform where we will be able to do much higher numbers in the coming year, and we are looking for almost doubling our revenue every year in the next 3 years. And that's the overlook of the switch mobility and also what's happening around the EV industry in commercial segment.
Today, if I look at the pure announcements which are coming from companies which are venturing into the EV space, I mean, that number now runs into almost 3 or 4 dozen. I mean, there are 30, 40 companies which essentially have already applied or have shown interest or in the process of moving into the electric space. The passenger car business in India is growing at 1%. The CV business in India is contracting, and the two-wheeler business, you'll appreciate, is growing at about 9 to 10%. So can the market really absorb this kind of a competition?
Yeah, in the EV segment, I agree because at the very initial stages, there will be a lot of innovation coming from startups, stabilized players, and then there will be a consolidation of understanding because in the commercial vehicle, it's not about technology and manufacturing. It's also about availability of channels, support, uptime, and all that over a period of time. I think auto industry, if you look at it, there after the COVID, the growth rate have been successful in last 2 years. Now it is coming up to stabilize, but EV has been constantly growing at a CAGR of 45 to 50%, and it's expected to stay there for next decade because it's a very early industry and looking at economics, looking at environmental concerns and so on, what's happening now in Delhi and other places. I think it is important that EV plays a role in the solution to decarbonize the cities and also make economic sense. That's why in commercial vehicles it makes much more sense.
I wanted to, switch focus and talk about, the international business, because the last time we had a conversation, you were talking about how you're expecting more orders to come by from Europe, but the headlines from that geography regarding the auto sector hasn't been that impressive. Are you still hopeful of some sort of recovery when it comes to Europe, or it's getting a bit soft there?
See, as far as Europe is concerned, our E1 bus has been certified. Now we are delivering our first delivery in Spain this month. As a product, I think we are ready with it. But overall, looking at the EV adoption challenges faced by Europe in the economic turmoil and what's happening around, we are calculated in looking at how we proceed, and at the same time, we are prepared as a business to serve the market well. Having said that, I also want to tell you that we are the only company which have won an electric bus order to be served by Government of India to Mauritius for 100 buses. So I'm happy to share that Switch Mobility's 100 electric buses will be served to the Government of Mauritius from India. So I'm not only looking at Europe, UK, but we are as Switch Mobility, we are looking at electric mobility playing a vital role not only in India but also in Asia, Australia, Middle East, Africa, and many more countries. I think we have to look at a global market, not just look at Indian market. We want to be a dominant player in India, but we will play a global role as well.
Let you go. Just a word as far as the break-even timeline is concerned. If I have it right, earlier we were talking about that happening by the end of FY25 itself. What's the latest with respect to the break-even visibility?
Yeah, we are well on the path. If you look at it in the last quarter of last financial year, we were EBITDA positive, and this year we are aiming for a full year EBITDA positive and break even. So we have a very good order pipeline. I think the momentum has come both in buses and light commercial vehicle. We are very much in the path of creating value not only to our customers but to the entity and stakeholders, including our shareholders as well.
Okay, and before we let you go, quick word as far as the small commercial vehicle segment is concerned as well. You talked about how things are looking up. Could you give me a bit of a sense as to how the initial response has been?
See, the e-commercial vehicle was supported as part of the FAME 2. Unfortunately, when the government announced FAME 3, they left the N1 segment. Having said that, we were lucky to launch it in April when there is no subsidy. That's the only segment without a subsidy other than the passenger vehicle. I would say that's the only segment in commercial vehicle without subsidy in the segment, and that poses us a great challenge. But we are very thrilled by the response by the customers. We have already delivered 500 plus vehicles on the market in the last H1. We are expecting the pipeline to improve because our dealership is about 45 now. We are constantly expanding to achieve about 50 to 60 dealership this year and about 100 in next year. So the complete channel is prepared, product is doing well. Both Switch IEV3 and IEV4 have been well received from market. Our customers are able to see the monthly saving what we are committing to the customers, and our uptime is very high. These are all the important things for a commercial vehicle, and that segment is being created almost by us. We have about 2 to 3.5 ton category. We are about 85% market share. Our payloads are higher. This segment is almost getting created by us, and we are sure going forward, like what has happened in three-wheelers, it is expected to happen in the light commercial vehicle as well. It's purely due to economics, which our customers will realize, and the anxiety of range and the anxiety of battery life slowly are dithering away because of already so many electric vehicles in the market. And our product, after a year or so, is also giving more confidence to our customers. So I look at that as a very positive sign, and we leading that segment in the electrification.
Okay, Mahesh, great to have you on the show. Thanks as always for taking the time out and speaking with us today.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.